The amazing secrets of growing up. Have you ever felt different from everyone around you? Long ago, there was a story about a duckling who looked nothing like his brothers and sisters. He was bigger, grayer, and awkward. The other animals laughed at him and called him ugly. He wandered alone through fields and forests, wondering why he didn't belong. But one day, when he looked into the water, he discovered something surprising. He had never been a duck at all. He was a swan. Today, let's use the ugly duckling to explore genetics, animal development, metamorphosis, and one fascinating question: how do living things become who they are? The story begins when a mother duck waits for her eggs to hatch. Most of the ducklings look alike, but one egg is larger and hatches later. The baby that comes out looks strange compared with the others. The little duckling is teased and rejected. Feeling lonely, he leaves home and spends the winter by himself. When spring arrives, he sees a group of beautiful swans. Expecting to be chased away again, he approaches them. Then he looks at his reflection in the water and realizes that he has grown into a swan. The ugly duckling was never ugly at all. He simply belonged to a different species. There is an old saying, "Birds of a feather flock together," which means similar things tend to gather together. The ugly duckling thought he belonged with ducks because he grew up among ducks. But biology tells a different story. Scientists classify animals by many clues: body shape, feathers or fur, DNA, skeleton structure, behavior, sounds, and growth patterns. Two animals may live together and still belong to completely different species. The duckling didn't understand this at first because he only knew his surroundings. Today, scientists use genetics to uncover family relationships hidden inside every cell. Your DNA contains instructions that influence your height, eye color, and many other traits. The swan looked different because his genes were different. Growing up can change everything. The ugly duckling changed as he grew, but some animals change much more dramatically. Think about a tadpole. It starts life with a tail, gills, and no legs. Months later, it becomes a frog with 4 legs, lungs, and no tail. Or think about a caterpillar. A caterpillar spends its days crawling and eating leaves. Then something extraordinary happens. It wraps itself inside a chrysalis. Weeks later, a butterfly emerges. The butterfly doesn't simply get bigger. It becomes an animal with new wings, new muscles, and even different behaviors. Scientists call these dramatic transformations metamorphosis. The ugly duckling grew up among ducks, but he was actually a swan. That raises another question. How do animals know who their family is? For some animals, the answer is imprinting. Certain birds, such as ducks and geese, go through a special period shortly after hatching. The first moving creature they see may become the one they follow. Sometimes it's their mother. But in famous experiments, baby geese followed scientists, dogs, and even toy models. Imprinting teaches us something important. Genes shape who we are, but experience shapes us too. Nature and nurture work together. The ugly duckling followed ducks because that was the world he knew, not because he shared their genes. At first glance, the ugly duckling seems to say, "Just wait, and you'll become beautiful." But biology tells a deeper story. Genes are not magic. They are instructions that interact with food, temperature, experience, and time. Development is like an orchestra. Genes provide the musical score, hormones keep the rhythm, the environment changes the performance. Growing up is not simply becoming larger, it is becoming yourself. The ugly duckling spent most of his childhood believing that something was wrong with him. But the truth was much more interesting. He wasn't a bad duck. He was a young swan. In biology, differences are clues. A different beak, different feathers, different DNA, or different behavior may reveal an entirely different story hidden beneath the surface. So here's a question for you. When you see an animal that looks unusual, are you looking at an outsider, or are you looking at a creature that is still becoming what it was meant to be? You are becoming your own amazing self.